10 minutes ago, and well, 2 minutes ago, they started to echo my voice. So I kind of deleted that, started over to make sure that everything's a-okay. It should be good. What you're hearing in the background is a handpan meditation. It is like one of my top 5 things to play, just to soothe my mind, soothe my body, because sound healing is a real thing, and making sure you're listening to a good vibe can calm down a lot of things. So, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Jared Cinco. I'm an artist that dabbles into a lot of different things, and I'm going to continue to dabble into newer things which I haven't seen yet. And today's story time is about the dream I had last night. And the dream I had last night had 3 different sections, and we're going to go through all of them. So before I say anything, I'm going to take 3 good deep breaths, and you are welcome to join with me, because we're about to go on a journey into my reality, inside of your observation, inside of the universe. Okay? So don't mind the noise of me driving the car. Focus on your breath and focus on the handpan meditation if you can. Alright? So let's begin. So my dream begins with me like heading towards a school, and I kind of want to say like Georgia State, but it didn't feel like in the city. It felt like in a known area, but not like Georgia State, because Georgia State is like almost midtown. So let's say like the north side, like almost like Kennesaw. So in the dream, I was with my friend Jay, and we like headed up into like one of the top floors. When we get to one of the floors, it's kind of like we go into this building or this room, and it's like an office area. And this office area had an old friend of mine there. This office area also had an elder woman there, and someone else came later on. So the class that I had in the dream took place like later on in the day, but I got there early. So Jay was like, bro, I'm not gonna stay here that long, I gotta go and do something. So I'm assuming he took me to the area, took me to class, and I'll just take a train back home, right? So he goes down all the way to the bottom, and I'm on FaceTime with him, making sure he's straight. He gets in his car, he leaves. And the old friend of mine, his name is Alberto. Now, this man, in the dream, he was really like relaxed, chill. He wasn't really doing anything like out in the ordinary. But we get to a point where we recognize the woman is kind of like playing the role of his mother, but in the face of her reminded me of my ex's mother. So it was a lot of bouncing around of stuff, but just stay with me. The correlation is that they're both Dominican. So that's the correlation. And so since at that point, we get to a part in the dream where the other person that was there was my brother Charles. So all three of us, we kind of like went down the elevator, went on like a walk path, and like this walk. Let me make sure my phone's not. Let me give it a second. This dream gets good, so please be patient with me. There's just a lot of things happening in this dream. So when we're on this walk path, kind of like where the hills is, we get to like this area where we are like on the edge of the road. Like the road is going this way, like left to right, but we're facing north and south. And as we're facing north and south, because the road ends, it's like more facing east and west, we're like looking over where like the side of the road is. And then there's like a bottom part of the road. And this bottom part is like walkways and stuff right there. That's gonna be important in a moment, but just keep that in mind. So, on the way to this walkway, because I was just giving you all the setting, on the way to this walkway, Berto was like confessing like he was frustrated. And his frustration was about him not able to get his music thing started and get things rolling and get people to hear him, get people to understand what he's going through. And because he was trying to figure it out, I gave him the advice of, bro, the only reason why people are not supporting you is because you're not showing them that you're willing to put the work in. Like, you're not posting any of your music, you're not promoting it, you're not getting in tune with anybody who can help promote your stuff, you're not showing the world that you want to actually make this thing happen. And I understand the concept of like trying to get a deal and everything, but that deal is only going to do so much. And because it's only going to do so much, you shouldn't put your all into it because you're not going to be the one controlling it. And because you're not going to be the one controlling it, you need to take more advantage of the fact that you have the ability to do what you can now before you decide to sell yourself into something that isn't true to you. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something out. Give me 1 second, guys. Car's acting a bit weird. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna let the gods help me out here as I get to my destination. So, to revisit, go back to the story, I'm giving him encouraging words to let him know that if you want things to change, you gotta put in the change, you gotta put in the work. And the work isn't necessarily signing a piece of paper is you getting into the field and doing the work. And when I was telling him all of this, he started to like tear up. He started to actually cry. I was like, oh shit. And he was like, bro, I'm just tired of being frustrated and I want this thing to work out. And I was like, you will if you trust yourself and you allow the process of what needs to happen work with you. So then outside the car to like check it to see if it was right, but I feel like this is all a test to kind of throw me off track, because this has not ever happened before, and the fact it's happening right now is very, very awkward. So the best thing I can do right now is put like a force field around my car, and this force field is going to keep all things together and not allow any negative things to happen, allowing me to reach my destination and release any worries I have in my mind and just trust that everything will be okay. Alright? We're just gonna do that. Because I didn't even get to the second part of the dream. So look, as he starts to kind of release what's been going on, and everyone around him is like literally comforting him, giving him the energy he needs so he can feel nurtured, feel secure, feel a sense of security from the people around him and himself. Charles then like kind of wanders off, and as he wanders off, he then kind of like is like talking on the phone to like a woman or a man. I think it's a man, but I'm gonna say woman because that was the first thing I said. And we was on the phone and he's like talking smack and stuff. Oh my God, what the hell? So like, remember I told y'all the bottom walkway? It was a lady that walked down that bottom walkway, and like Charles had said something to her. And she got kind of upset. And because she had got upset, we decided to, she didn't like get mad and run to us, but she like disappeared. She walked away and just left. Then we go back to the building we was in. We go back to the top floor, but the rooms looks a little different. So instead it was like a cube box with like a, some type of office. This time it was a long hallway with like a bedroom and like an office space. And by the time we get into there, like a whole group of female voices started to appear. And these female voices was angry, pissed, upset. So in the dream, Berto had like little sisters. And because he had little sisters, they were like, ready to throw down, ready to fight, to protect. So these sisters was in like the bedroom area. Charles, Berto, and the mother was like in the living room. Well, no, Charles was kind of like with me, but like he kept dabbling in and out of the room. And I was just in the middle room, like in the hallway, I mean. All of these women, it was like a good 15 to 30 different women came in and started to like fight. Like they was getting active. Now, I'm not gonna explain every single fight piece that happened, but there was two main parts that like kind of caught my attention. No, three. In the bedroom, it was like the sisters versus like 15, I think, or like 8 or 9 of them, something like that. It was a lot, almost double digits. And then in the hallway, because that was like the main entrance, it was like they had to go through me to get to everyone else. Action movie. In the action movie where like the main character is kind of tearing up everybody, right? So I was kind of that main character, not like tearing everyone up, but I was like pushing people in directions, like deflecting any hits and moving them out of the way. So the ones that weren't as strong, that was kind of weak, I threw to the sister's bedroom. The ones that were pretty strong, I like kind of knocked them out a little bit. And ones that was like very giant, because it was like one or two ones that was super tall, and I'm about like 6'2", so imagine like 6'5", 7, 8, around there. But it was one that was like 7 feet, I'm not gonna lie. Now, how does this relate to the turtle story? Just like a turtle does, it be patient, be patient. So look, by the time we get to the point where like the fighting dials down, the mother of Berto in the story, she began to like transform or something. And this transformation was like, she began to not even become a human anymore. She kind of like became a portal. And women already possess portals inside of them, but she was like a human portal. So it was like a black hole. We all got sucked through the portal, and everyone that was in a dream disappeared. And I appeared back at my house, the house I live in now. And everybody's playing cards, having a good time, good family time. And when this happened, I realized like the backyard looks different. I go out to the backyard, and if y'all ever went to my Instagram, there's a picture I have of me like in the backyard with my braids and stuff. And I had noticed that the gate that surrounds our backyard to kind of sanction off the neighborhood or to sanction off the backyards if it were other house, that wasn't there. Instead, it was like a huge like riverbank, a huge lake. Riverbank was like occupied by 2 giant turtles. These turtles was about the size of like, you know, the truck that hauls the trailer. Imagine an 18-wheeler but without the trailer part. It's just a big ass truck. Well, that's the size of how the damn turtle was. And at first I was like, whoa, there's 2 giant turtles out here. And everybody else was kind of like, they knew this already. Like, it was normal. And because this was my first time seeing it, I'm reacting like it's my first time seeing it. I'm like, whoa, this space is 2 big-ass turtles back here. So we have a dog named Muffin. She's like 17 years old. Super old. And No. Let me slow down. I'm going too fast. Before I took her outside, my grandmother was at the door. And she was like, you know, you are just like me. I was like, what do you mean? Well, you be up late at night like I do. You do things different like I do. You know yourself like I do. And then you're a part of me. You were in my egg at one point in time, and now you are here doing what you do. And in my mind, in the dream, like I'm consciously thinking like, technically my mother was in your egg, and then your daughter gave birth to me. But then like it all connects, so it's all down the tree. Her egg is just an extension of my mother's egg, is an extension of my grandmother's egg. So it all works in unison, right? So then next thing happens is I take Muffin outside, and on the edge of like the brick part of where like the backyard is, it's like wood chips and stuff. So like wood, and then you got the riverbank, and then you got the two turtles. One of the turtles came to me, and I didn't really ask questions, but I stayed very like optimistic. So it came to me and walked over, and I ain't gonna lie, the thing that almost came to mind was like, damn, don't eat Muffin. I was like, don't eat Muffin, please. But that was automatically shadowed and overcame like my appreciation of what I'm seeing. So remember, I told you there was two turtles out there. One was the size of a big ass truck, like the truck of an 18-wheeler, and the other one was the truck of was like the size of a Chevrolet Cruze. Let's say that, like a Chevrolet Cruze. So then the big turtle kind of like walked this way over to me, and his head was already out, but then like it acknowledged me, like it fully, we looked eye to eye, like nodded heads. And when we nodded heads, the baby turtle came to the front of the giant turtle, and he like placed him on top of the shell. And immediately when that started happening, it was like my soul just erupted with tears. And these tears happened because it was like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've seen beautiful women, I've seen a blue sky, but I've never seen two animals interact the way they did just there. And that to me was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I was crying in the dream. And those tears, like I woke up to that. And those tears transformed into appreciation. Because I recognized something. Over a year or two ago, I had like a test to figure out what was my spirit animal, because that was kind of big at the time. And every time I took the test, it was a turtle for me. And I looked up what a turtle means too. So, first off, the turtle, let me make sure I'm not mistaken. Let me go. When I looked up the turtle, the meaning of it, it said it represents wisdom, luck, and prosperity. Wisdom, luck, and prosperity. And then when I looked up what God is associated to, it said Vishnu. Now, I have not connected with that God consciously, so that may be a representation of that God acknowledging me. And I want y'all to understand that if something acknowledges you, that means you have something that you can provide, not only to them, but to yourself, because gods are an extension of you. And it's important that you acknowledge what you're able to give so that you can receive. So I'm here to say in this story time that your life, what you do in life, can directly reflect in your dreams. What you do in life can directly influence your dreams. What you do in your dreams can directly reflect your life. Can directly influence your life. Thank you for anyone who's just joined in. Your life can influence your dreams, and your dreams can influence your life. So any type of dream that you may have, if it's something that is scary, if it's something that is like adventurous, if it's something that's surprising, understand that all of these different things were influenced by something you did in life. And because it had happened in the physical life, it is now acting out in your astral realm, in your astral reality. So I'm going to figure out how I can get back into that state and communicate with this turtle, or specifically Vishnu, and figure out something more than what I gained. Figure out more. I want y'all to really let go of your expectations of yourself. Don't expect to be successful, be successful. Don't expect to go travel, go travel. Don't expect to find love, be love. Because here's the thing. If I'm able to visualize a being that is gravitating so much that it makes me release tears, that means that I am doing something so gravitating in my life that my soul wants to release tears in a form of happiness. Because I want you to understand, when I saw the big ass turtles, when I saw the giant turtles, I wasn't like afraid. I wasn't scared. I wasn't like, oh my God, it's turtles in the backyard. I'm like, wow, it's turtles in the backyard. Like, I've never seen it before. It's something I'm appreciating for the first time. And I'm acknowledging the fact that this is my reality right now. And because I'm acknowledging it in the way that I did, I was able to have the outcome that I had. You see, the giant turtle represents you. Imagine the skin inside of the turtle, or the body of the turtle, is like the your soul, your spirit, your true essence outside of just the body. The shell is your body. The shell is your flesh. It protects and how you treat your shell directly reflects to how your true essence is being appreciated. So here's the thing. When he put the baby turtle on top of his back, that is representation of having an external force, having another version of you be an assistant to you. A lot of people say they put God first. Do you really put God first? And you gotta understand, what I believe is when you put God first, that's representation for you putting your soul before anything else. What makes you feel fulfilled? What makes you feel balanced with yourself? What makes you feel like you are actually obtaining all the things that truly match your blueprint? So I appreciate everybody who took the time to listen to this and watch this, because story times is good to express. Stories lead to glory. A lot of people read the Bible when that's really just another story. Someone giving a story time. Some stories relate to history. Some stories relate to fiction. But it ultimately doesn't matter what genre the story is in. It's the message behind the story. And the message behind this story is you may encounter things in your life that is very different than the norm. You may be the thing in your life that's different from the norm, but it's okay. Not everything is supposed to be the same. Not everything is supposed to animate itself the way you see it fit. The fact that we have differences, the fact that we have different viewpoints, different perspectives, can gain a higher sense of awareness, can gain a higher level of unconditional love, and a higher level of appreciation of everything that we encounter. So if you're listening to this and you sometimes struggle to embrace your differences, embrace your uniqueness, I want you to know that your uniqueness is your power. Your uniqueness is what sets you different from everyone else. So appreciate that and value that, because it's not in everybody. It's not in every. The term NPC is a real thing. Some people are non-playable characters where you just go up to them, you press X, you get a 2-second conversation and you move on. But for you, because you're so gravitating, your whole character is enjoyable. Your whole character is worth playing as. And because your character is worth playing as, embrace each step of the journey. Embrace each step of the journey. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna eat this last cucumber. Get out of here. I don't know why my front left tire was kind of like shaking through most of this ride. However, like I said earlier, we got to with ease, without no type of frustration. So I'm thankful for that. I'm gonna try to figure out some type of spiritual spell I could put onto my car continuously so I can move without worry. Even as we was just driving and I did those things with my words, and I spoke a sense of like a force field, that itself was a spell, because your words project things into the universe, and depending on your intention and your awareness and your focus, it can actually be utilized. So pay attention to that when you're doing things in life. You can use your words to help you a lot. I'm gonna go and get out of here. I appreciate y'all for listening. You have a blessed day. And don't forget, stay positive. Peace.